Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you. This is exciting.
When we first heard about this project not too long ago, it was called 67 Blankets for Madiba Day.
That's right. At 3 o'clock in the morning, I thought, because Zelda le Grance, Madiba's long trusted assistant, challenged me in December last year I was boasting about my domestic abilities. She said, well, why don't you make 67 blankets for Nelson Mandela Day? And I said, sure, no problem. And then promptly forgot about it. My sister arrived on Christmas Day with a bag of wool and a crochet hook, so I started then. So at 3 o'clock in the morning, I realized I can't, do this on my own. I've got to put something on Facebook, because I've got hundreds of friends on Facebook. They can now help, maybe. I was really hoping for 67 blankets. And so I called it 67 Blankets for Madiba Day. And just the other day, I was given permission by the Nelson Mandela Foundation to use Nelson Mandela's name. So I think that is like,
well done.
I'm really pleased about that. So now Facebook, you can't change the name of a group if you've got more than 250 members, and we've got a few thousand now. So I've changed it to 67 Blankets for Nelson Mandela Day. So we've got a whole new group that's been formed. So I'm trying to get the people moving across from 67 Blankets for Madiba Day to 67 Blankets for Nelson Mandela Day.
Hope they're listening.
Why was it important for you to challenge South Africans to knit and do something, unlike just buy?
Well, I think if you do what I'm doing, it takes time and it takes effort. And it also allows for creative input, and it's really lovely getting together with a group of friends. And I think that the person who's going to receive this blanket at the end of the day is going to know that there are people out there that actually care enough to spend, I think, over 67 hours, certainly in my case, to make a blanket. So I think it's much more heartwarming.
How many people have you involved in this project?
Gosh. We've got 67 blankets for Nelson Mandela Day in South Africa, in Cyprus, India, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, California, the UK.
Oh, wow.
It has gone global. It's gone viral. I think it's because Mandela has worked. It's Madiba magic. So people are really. It's actually gotten out of hand.
How did you identify who needs these blankets more?
Okay, I've formed a partnership with an incredible organization called JAM, Joint Aid Management. They feed 1.1 million kids in Africa every day in informal settlements, poverty-stricken areas. So they've got huge logistical structures in place. And they've identified, they work with informal settlements around the country. So thank goodness for them, because they've lightened my load, and they will be distributing a lot of the blankets. But on Mandela Day, I'm going to be going with Zelda le Grance on her Bikers for Mandela Day, on the back of her bike, I think, if I've got the courage, to deliver in Diepsloot. So I'm going to start my blanket delivering in Diepsloot.
Before the delivery date of the blankets, there are a few other events taking place. One is on the 15th of June in Howick.
Fantastic. To celebrate the father of our nation, Nelson Mandela, we're going to celebrate Father's Day in Howick at the capture site. And we're going to have a display of hundreds and hundreds of blankets at the Mandela statue. And people will come with picnic baskets and bring their fathers along to help knit, get in on the fun, and we'll have a huge blanket handover then. So people from Durban and Pietermaritzburg and all those areas, KwaZulu-Natal, will be there at the capture site on the 15th of June.
And then there's another event on the 30th of June at the Nelson Mandela Square. That's
right. At the Auto and General Theatre on the Square, we've got a blanket handover. We did one on April 7th with all the leading ladies of the musical theatre performing, all free of charge, to celebrate 67 Blankets for Nelson Mandela Day. This time, on June 30th, we've got all the leading men of the musical theatre, Jonathan Rocksmith and Keith Smith, Michael de Pinna, Sito.
Yes.
Amazing. Sito.
We know Sito.
and Andre Schwartz. Amazing talent that they'll all be on the stage to perform, and the entrance fee for that on June 30th is a handmade blanket.
And I mean, the media has caught on to this. I believe you're going to make your acting debut on Generations.
I know. Actually, I was on Generations some years ago. I played Barbara, having the affair with Capella.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
When I was blonde and bigger.
Yes.
But now I've come back as this character, Carolyn Steyn, the founder of 67 Blankets for Nelson Mandela Day. So it's been so exciting being on the set of Generations, and my first appearance is next week sometime, Monday or Tuesday, where and I've got the whole of, I mean, in actual fact, all those people at Generations, the writers, the producers, the people who make the tea, the wardrobe, makeup, they're all crocheting. I mean, I'm wondering if they're doing any other work, because everywhere I look around those Generation studios, everybody's crocheting and knitting for Mandela.
Okay, so what are the requirements? Somebody's listening to this conversation and thinking, you know, I'm really good at knitting or, you know, at sewing. What are the requirements? I believe this blanket has to be a certain size?
I'm looking for single bed size blankets and baby blankets. So if people have time on their hands, a single bed size, which is 150 centimeters by 200 centimeters. If people don't have a lot of time, then a baby blanket will go down just as well. Yeah.
I'm really bad at knitting, I have to be honest. I just was not a knitting person. What does a person like me do?
Okay,
Who's not a hopeless
you come to me and I'll give you a lesson. But I must tell you that Timothy Malloy, you know, the singer,
yes,
learned how to crochet on YouTube. YouTube have got amazing demonstrations on how to crochet. My niece, who lives in Australia, learned on YouTube. When she posted her crocheting on YouTube, I thought it was going at, you know, double speed.
Yeah.
But that was actually her doing it, and she had given up after me trying to teach her.
Yeah.
But YouTube is a better teacher than Carolyn.
Okay. So that's me going on YouTube trying to learn.
Yeah.
I'm going to contribute to this. I have to.
Pledge.
It's a pledge. You're going to find a blanket for me.
Because I think stitch by stitch we'll all be making a difference in keeping people warm around our country and around the world in the name of Nelson Mandela.